Hi everyone, welcome along to my very first budgeting and cash stuffing video. As I just thought it'd be really good to share with you my journey on this and show you how I've set my kind of setup up and I'd love to get your views on anything you think I've missed or whatever. So thank you so much. Today I'm going to be talking you through my February budget, which is the first one I've ever done, and then also how I've set up my binders. And then on the 8th when I get paid, I'm going to be doing my first cash stuffing, which I'm super excited about. So yeah, thank you ever so much for joining me. Let's get into it. So I guess the first thing is about what's brought us to this journey, and because you'll notice I'm so super fortunate to have a really high income, but obviously over the course of the pandemic that income has kind of dropped by about a third, and because of the industries we work in, it's not necessarily going to come back, so we're kind of in a slightly different financial place than we used to be. Now of course we're still in a really good place, but I just want to make sure that we kind of do that. Second thing is, this year I wanted to be much more intentional about how I spent my time, my money, my resources, and just making sure that we're focusing on how we want our lives to be and what we want it to focus on, rather than just kind of getting to the end of each month and wondering kind of where the money went really. So we're not in trouble, we don't have loads of debt, but it's just I just want to make sure that we're making the best of everything that we have and the opportunities that we have as they kind of come along. And I guess the final reason is just I love these videos. I don't know about you, but I could just watch these. I do watch these for hours. I find them really relaxing, and I think there's also I find the idea of budgeting quite good for controlling anxiety and just making sure that you know what's happening. So I think obviously we've all felt a bit out of control over the last couple of years, and I think this is one way that I think, oh okay, I can create some order in my life, which I appreciate, and do that. So those are kind of the reasons that we want to do it. But like I said, I just really love these videos. I'm sure you do too. So that's kind of why I wanted to create them as well. So I've got 4 main sections of my budget. I just downloaded this from Canva. There's some super lovely ones out there, but I'm not sure at the moment exactly what I need. Obviously it's I'm still finding my feet. So I just printed this one out to use, and then we'll make kind of variations as we go through, I'm sure. So the first thing you'll notice is the income section. So we've got the salary, which is, for me, my take home is 5520. So that's after pensions and any other deductions from work. And then I also have got some side hustle income this month of £562.50. But what you'll notice is I haven't included that actually in my budget, because I don't really want to become reliant on the side hustle income. Obviously it goes up and down, and I think it might be more useful later in the month when perhaps I don't know, some of the envelopes are kind of running short, or the sinking funds. So at the moment I haven't included that in my breakdown, but what I'll do is later in the month, or maybe at the end of the month, is kind of then stuff that. So I just want to give myself again a bit of a buffer, and as I say, it kind of goes up and down, that side hustle income. I've got my fixed costs, which are those that don't really change month on month. They all kind of go out of my bank, so they're not going to be part of my cash stuffing, but these are kind of part of the budget. So we've got our household bills, which are about £1,300 a month. We've got a separate bills account, and that covers our mortgage, our water, our gas, electric, council tax, phones and insurances. So basically kind of all the boring bills that you need to pay. So they're all done in a separate account. So as I say, I won't cash stuff those, but that's kind of going on in the background. I've got my gym membership, which is £90. Might seem really high, but it's kind of like a CrossFit style gym. It's amazing, but it's almost like getting personal training every time you do a session. So it works out much cheaper than that, and is kind of one of my go-tos. So yeah, absolutely keeping that. I've got about £50 worth of subscriptions, so that covers things like Amazon, Netflix. I get my dishwasher tablets on subscription, and some stuff for the dog. So it's just I kind of, rather than listing them all out, they're kind of at £50. Again, that's something that if we needed to, we could look to trim, but at the moment, that's fine. I've got my car tax, which I pay monthly at the moment, but as part of the sinking funds, I'd like to get to paying that annual, but at the moment I pay about £10 a month on car tax, and then I've got a loan which comes out on the 15th, which is £750 a month, and that was, I took a loan out towards the end of my masters a couple of years ago, just as the pandemic kind of happened, just to give us a bit of a buffer. But obviously I'm paying that back now, and I choose to pay that back about £750 a month. So by the end of this year, by end of 2022, that loan will be repaid and it won't be a debt anymore. And obviously I could reduce the payments if I wanted to, but at the moment I'm kind of quite aggressively paying off that. So that's kind of gone into my fixed costs. So my fixed cost comes to a total of £2,200 a month. And then I'm going to go on to sinking funds next, which I learnt from Baddies and Budgets, but I just really liked it as a way of like working out, okay, what's left over and then kind of whatever. So next I went through and kind of prioritised what I would like to put into my sinking funds. And they're sinking funds, I've never done that before. Obviously I've had savings, but it's kind of, I didn't really have them for specific purposes or specific reasons. So I really like the idea of kind of being really intentional about where we're kind of going to be putting our money. So we got financial goals, and sorry about my writing. Everyone else on these channels has amazing handwriting, but I just don't. So I'm really sorry about that. Maybe I'll get to printing it or doing it properly, because yeah, you shouldn't have to read my handwriting because it's horrible. But anyway, so financial goals is our largest sinking fund, and what I'd like to do is put £1,000 a month away to that, and that is like at the moment undetermined, but it could be like I do invest in the stock market, to put down a deposit, say, on an investment property or whatever. So I haven't got a particular goal in mind for that, but I know that I would like to have some money to be working towards our future. I'm building towards that. So I'd like to put in £1,000 a month of that. Home improvements, I've allocated £120 a month. So we did a lot of work last year to the house, but there's still some bits to do, mainly cosmetic now. But that is one that's like not that high at the moment. I probably will be something that I stuff more with side hustle and other income, rollover income, just so that I can get those things done more quickly. But none of it is like desperate, so like that's why we're at that level. £150. I've put car maintenance, but it basically covers everything for the car. So that would cover car insurance, MOT and service, which for me is due at the end of March, and then also give me a buffer for the car tax, and also sort of £500-700 in there a year to cover tyres or anything that kind of goes. My car's reasonably reliable, and I'm not using it that much at the moment because of home working, but obviously that might change. And it is quite an old car. It's done like about 115,000. So it is at that age where stuff could start going wrong, so we'll kind of keep an eye on that. Emergency, I've already got some emergency funds in the bank, but I want to continue to add to them, so I'm going to add £100 a month. I think that's just so that I'd love to get to a position where we're like 3 to 6 months ahead in our expenses. So I think if the emergency funds grow to such a point, that'd be great. So yeah, that's one again that I may add to if I get extra cash each month or kind of wherever we are. Christmas, I've put £100. So I'd like to stuff £100 between now and November, so that in November I've got like £1,000, and that will cover all my presents, all food, socialising. That will just mean that like that expense is kind of taken care of. And then finally, which again might seem like a big number, is experiences, and that's going to cover everything from like holidays to nice days out to if it's a super fancy dinner we want to do, like just basically those kind of things that are really special. So experiences and travel are kind of like where, like especially pre-pandemic, we spent a lot of money, and we want to continue to do that, but like in a more intentional way, I guess, rather than just saying yes to loads of things. So yeah, that's kind of the budget. Obviously that's one again that could decrease if we needed it to. It's certainly not essential, but again, part of like intentionality, it's kind of what I want to spend our money on. And then what I did was obviously work out our income minus our fixed costs minus our sinking funds, and then that gave me $1,450 available to spend on variable costs, and so obviously variable in nature. So these are the ones that I'll be cash stuffing in my binders, and also obviously can go up and down. Sorry, frog in my throat. Up and down depending on what's happening, and I guess these are almost more guesswork as well, because I guess it's harder sometimes to predict some of these costs. Anyway. The variable costs I've kind of identified. So food is £450, and that's covering not only supermarket shop, that covers like dogs, our dog's food, but also the things I typically buy at the supermarket. So I generally buy all our household cleaning stuff at the supermarket, and I also toiletries, like so deodorant, shampoo, shower gel. I don't particularly buy anything fancy, but like those are all I pick those up when I'm in the supermarket. So £450 might sound high, but for like it covers all of those elements, and it also covers any takeaways. The other thing I've done, which I might do a separate video on, is this month I've done like a food plan or a menu plan for like the first time, because I've noticed particularly on a Friday I just get a bit uninspired and want to order a takeaway. So now by menu planning, and hopefully like that will help with the managing the food budget as well. So I'll let you know how that goes. That's again something I've not done. Fuel I put in £50. I'm not really driving a lot at the moment, but obviously fuel prices are massively going up, aren't they? But also, if we start driving more for work or travelling, obviously that might be an expense that goes back up again. So again, that's one that might increase. I've got 250 in self-care. Again, might seem like a lot, but I've got a skin condition and I'm having a course of treatment at the moment. And that course of treatment is £150 a month. I've got a couple more months of that, and then hopefully that would be a cost that decreases. But self-care covers like massages. I dye my own hair. I've stopped doing my nails. That's the other thing about these videos. Loads of people have really lovely nails and I don't have those at all. So yeah, I've kind of minimised my costs in those areas anyway. But that would cover haircuts, anything else. So again, high at the moment, potentially could come down. Clothes, I put in £50. I don't particularly need anything. And I do want to be more intentional about buying clothes as well, making sure that they're more ethically sourced. Yeah, just like I've put that in as that, but I'd imagine I probably won't use it every month, perhaps rolled over, I don't know. Socialising, I've put in 100, and that covers like eating out, coffees with friends, anything like that. So yeah, I've put £100 in socialising. I've put YouTube as 400. I've got another YouTube channel which I use in my business, and that is more I use an editor for that, so that covers his costs. Again, one that might well decrease. I'm going to think about what I'm going to do with that channel, so that might be one that comes out, or definitely probably will come out, but at the moment I'm committed for the next couple of months, so that's going in there. Gifts, £50. I've got a really busy March and April with birthdays and things, but typically over the course of a year I think for like £50 a month would cover me. Miscellaneous, I've put 50, which might seem high, but just I just want to give myself a bit of wiggle room. As I say, like, it's the first time I've done this. I don't want to set myself up to fail or make it overly strict. So I just put £50 into miscellaneous just to give me a bit of, a backup. And then giving, I've put 50, which is lower than I would like it to be and is something I would like to increase. But I want to be more intentional. I do give to various causes as and when I see them, but I'd like to, I think, probably set up a regular donation to my food bank and then also have some dedicated funds to support causes that I feel like are important. So yeah, that would be one that hopefully I could increase over time. So that's kind of the budget. I'd love to hear if you think I have missed anything out. Vets is one that I haven't at the moment put in because we've got our dog has been quite low maintenance up until this point, but she's getting old, bless her. But I do have pet insurance for her. So yeah, I think maybe like if something horrible happened, obviously we'd like tap into the emergency fund. But if you think we need something separate, that'd be great to hear. And the other thing I haven't put is any savings challenges, just because I don't really, I guess, know what money I'm going to have or whatever. But I'd love to hear what you think are good savings challenges or what are your favourite ones. Just as that would be fun to do as well, and kind of put aside. So yeah, I'd love to hear in the comments below any sections I've missed, you think, or if there's anything around savings challenges that you think I need to kind of be thinking about or building in, because like I say, brand new to this. Great, okay, so that's the budget, and then I just thought I'd quickly talk you through my two binders. I totally see how some people kind of have multiple binders and it kind of, I'm sure it will grow over time, but I just thought I'd go with two binders at the moment. So my black one is going to be for my variable or my everyday costs, and this will be the one that I stuff weekly. And yeah, this will be the one that I take out with me. And I love these binders. I got them off Etsy. I'll link them below, but they're super lovely. And then my white one is going to be for my sinking funds, and kind of probably won't leave the house. So I'll just show you the so you'll recognize all of these because these are all like from the variable costs, and I got these envelopes from Keeping It Personalized off Etsy. So again, I'll link her shop before. I went for the rose gold, which I really like because I like rose gold. So I've got food in there, fuel in there, self-care, clothes, socializing, miscellaneous, gifts, giving, and rollover. So obviously I'm hoping that will be nice and full towards the end of the month, but that's my kind of everyday binder. And then in the sinking funds, I've got financial goals, emergency, home, car, experiences, Christmas, and then I put the YouTube one in here just because it's quite a lot of money. I don't need to be taking that envelope out all the time, so that's just kind of in here for safekeeping. And then I've also got these trackers. The trackers were from What If I Fly 17, so I'll be obviously filling those out. And what I also ordered from What I Fly 17 is these lovely placeholders, just because I'm conscious I don't want to keep too much cash in the house, and obviously some of these numbers are reasonably high, so I'd love to hear from you, like when you decide to go to the bank, or like if you have a number or how you kind of make that work, because yeah, I think it's kind of difficult to know, isn't it? Like how much you want to keep it actually physically in your envelopes, and then what happens if something happens in your binder, and then like what do you put in the bank and stuff. So yeah, again, that'll probably be a bit of trial and error. But yeah, that's all kind of lovely. Yeah, so I think that's kind of it really. I'm really excited to do my first cash stuff. So I'd love it if you join me back for here. But in the meantime, I'd love to hear any comments, any feedback. As I say, I'm really excited about this journey and really inspired by the community. Everyone seems so lovely and supportive. So yeah, I'm super excited to kind of get involved. And I will thank you for listening. A bit of a ramble probably. But yeah, lovely to see you or hear you. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you in the next video. All right, take care. Bye.